in every art form there is a requirement of discipline, right? And in this book there is this one chapter that's called most of what I know about writing fiction I learned by running every day. And it's very beautiful because Murakami, what he does is he's equating his habit of writing with his habit of running, and how it's important that you understand that you keep discipline in your life, right? I've also been intentionally running on hills. Near my house is a nice series of slopes with an elevation change equivalent to about a 5 or 6 story building. And on one run, I rounded this loop 21 times. This took me an hour and 45 minutes. It was a terribly muggy day and it wore me out. The New York City Marathon is a generally flat course, but it goes over 7 bridges, most of which are suspension bridges, so the middle sections slope up. I've run the New York Marathon 3 times now, and those gradual ups and downs always get my legs, more than I expect. The final leg of this marathon is in Central Park. I'm pretty good at running up slopes, and usually I like a course that has slopes, since that's where I can pass the other runners. But when it comes to the slopes of Central Park, I'm totally beat. This time I want to enjoy relatively the last couple of miles, give them all I've got, and break the tape with a smile on my face. That's one of my goals this time around. The total amount of running I'm doing might be going down, but at least I'm following one of my basic rules for training. I never take 2 days off in a row. Now, from here, he's talking about how the habit has to sit into your muscles. Muscles are like work animals that are quick on the uptake. If you carefully increase the load step by step, they learn to take it. As long as you explain your expectations to them by actually showing them examples of the amount of work they have to endure, your muscles will comply and gradually get stronger. It doesn't happen overnight, of course, but as long as you take your time and do it in stages, they won't complain. Aside from the occasional long phase, they'll very patiently, obediently grow stronger. Through repetition, your input into your muscles, the message that this is how much work they have to perform. Our muscles are very smart. As long as we observe the correct procedure, they won't complain. If, however, the load halts for a few days, the muscles automatically assume that they don't have to work that hard anymore and they lower their limits. And then we move around when he starts talking about how this is helping him writing. Back to novels for a moment. In every interview, I'm asked what's the most important quality a novelist has to have. It's pretty obvious: talent. No matter how much enthusiasm and effort you put into writing, if you totally lack the talent, you can forget about being a novelist. This more is a prerequisite than a necessity quality. If you don't have any fuel, even the best car won't run. If I'm asked what the most important quality is for the novelist, that's also easy: focus. The ability to concentrate all your limited talents on whatever's critical at the moment. Without that, you can't accomplish anything of value, while if you can focus effectively, you'll be able to compensate for an erratic talent or even a shortage of it. I generally concentrate on work 3 to 4 hours every morning. I sit at my desk and focus totally on what I am writing. I don't see anything else. I don't think about anything else. Even a novelist who has a lot of talent and a mind full of great ideas probably can't write a thing if, for instance, he's suffering a lot of pain. After focus, the next most important thing is hands down endurance. If your concentration on writing 3 or 4 hours a day and feel tired after a week, you're not going to be able to write a book. What's needed for a writer of fiction, at least one who hopes to write a novel, is the energy to focus every day for half a year or a year, 2 years at least. Fortunately, these two disciplines, focus and endurance, are different from talent, since they can be acquired and sharpened through training, just like my running. I'll give you a small story. Alright, so when I started writing, I very quickly realized that I was not the most gifted writer in the room. And this happened in college. Okay. What happened is कि मेरे ही 3 बैचमेट मेरे साथ सेम ग्रुप में थे. Alright, so I come up with my ideas, they come up with their ideas, and the committee decides कि which ideas we take forward, है ना. और मेरे हमेशा एका दुक्के आइडिया ही लिए जाते थे. और मेरा एक दोस्त था रोहन, उसके मेजॉरिटीली सारे आइडियाज लिए जाते थे, एंड ही वाज द लास्ट मिनट गाय, है ना. रात को ऐसे सोचेगा अब लिखना है, और कल कमाल करके आ जाता था. So eventually I really realized, like realized that I am not the most gifted writer in the room. So I had to work on being the most hard-working writer. And I think that's where things start to change, right? Because अगर आप डिसिप्लिन ले आते हो अपने आर्ट फॉर्म के अंदर, है ना, अगर आप उसे एज अ हॉबी मानना छोड़ दो एंड यू प्रैक्टिस इट एवरी डे, वॉट एवर यू डू, जर्नलिंग, ऑरिगैमी, क्रेजी, तो उससे क्या होता है ना, योर मसल्स, जैसे मुराकामी भी लिखते हैं, आपकी मसल की हैबिट हो जाती है. इट बिकम्स अ मसल मेमोरी फॉर इट एंड इट बिकम्स ईजियर फॉर देम टू डू. एंड समटाइम्स योर मसल एंड अप सरप्राइजिंग यू. जैसे आजकल जब मैं लिखता हूँ, कई बार मैं जो सोच रहा होता है ना वो स्लो हो जाता है रादर देन माई स्पीड ऑफ राइटिंग. तो समटाइम्स आई जस्ट राइट सेंटेंसेज एंड देन आई गेट सरप्राइज्ड कि वाह मैंने लिख दिया. You know, for every artist it's such a beautiful moment when you can surprise yourself. And वो सिर्फ तब होता है जब you are focused on the discipline of doing it. तो अगर आप किसी भी art form में है, तो I would just suggest कि keep the discipline going. And yeah, that has been my time. Yaar, you're a very beautiful audience. Thank you so much for being here.